Dells. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Oh, come on. It's the last meeting of the year. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right, good deal. I got to make sure I get it. I push it forward and it does things. Okay, got it. Okay. Brand new one. Got to make sure I do. I'm John Dells, and I told him to make it real short so I can have a little fun introducing myself. You understand I have an accent. It doesn't sound it's from Valdosta. I was born and raised in England. Came to America in 1956 along with my mom, my dad, and three sisters, Vivian, Valerie, and Veronica. So why am I not a victim? My mother needed a John, so here I am. Okay? Moved to Marietta in 1956. My dad, chief engineer, and I got out of high school in Cobb County. And my dad said I had to be an engineer also. He made me go to Georgia Tech.
Oh.
Exactly. Anyway, after 2 years at Georgia Tech made a decision for me. Don't come back. I'm not an engineer. I told him that up front. Anyway, and at that time there was an uncle, a rich uncle, who was coming to Atlanta to talk to my dad and said, "What's he doing?" He said, "Nothing." "Got a job?" "No." "Going to school?" "No." And he said, "Well, let me talk to him." So we sat down and we had this big discussion about making something out of myself and my life and all this good stuff. And he offered me this wonderful opportunity. He said, "How would you like to travel?" And I went, "Okay." He said, "I got an opportunity for you. I'll feed you, house you, clothe you, pay you, and you get to travel." And I'm thinking, that's not a bad deal, you know? So I said, fine. So I spent the next 2 years in Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos. Uncle Sam. You know, Uncle Sam. So I proudly served my country, which was not even my country because I wasn't even a citizen. I was actually supposed to go to Kyoto, Japan on this very special assignment called crypto. If anybody was in the military, you might understand what I'm talking about. Crypto is a very top level TS type communications. And so when I got off the boat in Yokohama, going through the paperwork, this guy says, "You're not a citizen." I went, "No." He said, "How did you get a top secret clearance?" I said, "Look, I didn't give me one. Somebody gave me one, and there it is." He said, "Well, you can't go to Kyoto." I went, "Fine." So he said, "Let me redo this." So I spent an extra day in the repo depot, and then I got assigned to a little place called Weejumbu, Korea, where we were assigned to train with a bunch of little choppers called Hueys. And that was just the forerunner for us to go into Da Nang, Nha Trang, Benoit, and a couple other places where we went in on C-130s, got on choppers, and then went into Cambodia and Laos. And we did some stuff that supposedly we didn't do because we were never in Laos. Okay, but I had some really nice photos of temples and stuff in the jungle. So if you ever want to see some really nice temples, let me know. I'll show them to you and you can check the date. It was 64 through 66. So anyway, that's how I got it. I married my high school sweetheart, Sandy. Been married to her for 48 years. 25 wonderful years. You know? Been married 48, but 25 wonderful years. You know? She's redheaded, mean as a snake, and she's better, she knows. And so, anyway, but I had 2 children. I did go back to college on the GI Bill. Had some fun over at Kennesaw when it was a 2-year school. And then I went to Georgia State, and I went to Auburn. So that's why we're proud of the Auburn tie. So my daughter went to Auburn also, and then my granddaughter's over there now. So we're kind of lucky. My son-in-law, Greg, Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Yeah. You know, but once a year, we just separate. He's not allowed to come near my house, but Jennifer comes home. Okay? Jason owns a couple of companies down in Macon. They make wood floors and sandouts or sawdust. And then my daughter, Jennifer, is the marketing manager for a little company called Disney. The one with the ears. That's who she does. So, anyway, that's me in a nutshell. 1979, 1980, I helped write a book called The 1 Minute Manager with a gentleman named Ken Blanchard. This year we went over 13 million copies. Because we still get a little pennies on each book that sells. We love it. So if you ever want a program conducted for your organization about praising, goal setting, and reprimanding, you let me know. Be glad to do it. And anybody knows if you're a member of the association, I don't charge you. I'll gladly do it for you. You know that. So I'll be happy to. Anyway, that's the introduction. So what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about something called value-driven leadership. And in the write-up that the Ian put out, it said in there, come and get a gift. I did not know that the we pawn things fast would bring in gifts. Okay? But that's the pawn, title pawn, is that it? Okay, so everybody be sure to take a gift home. They have tickets in there that if you go by their shop, whatever that ticket was put on hold for, you can pick it up for free. So, I mean, they got guns and all sorts of stuff you can get. There's no tickets in there. There's no tickets in there, trust me. I'm just kidding you. Okay. Anyway, 3 rules for my little program today, and we're going to be running right on time. I promise you we'll get you out here on time. I was asking Chad, I said, well, I'm Brad, I said, Brad, how long do I need to talk? He said, you can talk as long as you want. And I went, awesome! He said, but everybody's going to get up and leave about 1. Oh, okay. So I'll use that as a guideline. 3 rules I'd like to ask you to follow. Number 1, I ask questions from time to time about something that's on the screen. And when I ask questions, I don't go away. You know, so a lot of times you have a speaker that asks a question, then you kind of drop your head, and that's the signal, I don't know the answer, and they go to somebody else. Not me. I stand right there and wait. So you have to answer something. 2, so as you know, ask questions, please. Ask questions anytime you got one. I wrote this stuff, so I'm pretty good about it. And then 3, let's have fun. Anybody that's opposed to us having fun in the next 34 minutes? No accounting people? You know, they're normally the hardest ones to have. We want to have fun. Oh my Lord. So, that's my 3 rules. Now, we're going to talk about value-driven leadership. I'm going to give you some quick guidelines. Some folks really honor me and flatter me by saying, I'm going to write some notes. As I explained, okay, you don't have to, because these are copies of all the slides. And what we're going to do in the next couple of days, or next week maybe, we're going to put a connection on the link that we send out after our meetings, and it's going to have this on there. Okay? And you were welcome to use this. One of the questions I was asked is, are you sure you want to release that? I said, sure. I don't do this for people just to keep it as a secret. I want you to go back and use it and share it. Take it to your real estate office and say, look, everybody sit down, 15 minutes. I want to run through something that I learned at a meeting the other day. Okay? So by all means, please help yourself. Do whatever you want with those notes. Use them by all means. So, okay, I'm pushing this thing forward.
Pull it back. Other way.
Huh?
Other way. Pull
Oh, pull it backwards. Ah, he's from
it.
Alabama.
Backwards is the new forward.
But I'm pulling it both
Hold
ways.
it. Hold on. Give me a second.
All right, we got it. So let's talk about value-driven leadership. I am pulling that little booger backwards. Okay, who are we in business for?
What did you say?
Who?
I didn't hear what you said.
Who are we in business for?
Most of these people are business for themselves.
But who are they in business for? Customers, yeah. Who else? Let's check. Customers, yes. Correct answer. You get an extra ticket for the drawing. Okay? Also, employees. Fact. You treat your employees right, they will treat the customers right, they will get you business. You mess with your employees, they will not treat the customers. Case in point, Sears and Roebuck. Anybody remember Sears? The good Sears? Do you remember when you walked in, the glass always had cut in it? Through these doors walked the world's finest customers. Remember that? It was on top of every Sears store. What happened? Sears started trying to compete with Walmart. Whole different ball game. They weren't treating their employees right. They cut employees hours so they wouldn't have to pay them benefits. The most you could work was literally 20 hours. No insurance, no health, no parking places. And then they said, now, go be nice to the customers. And then we wondered why Sears lost its fantastic place in retail. How many people have been to Sears lately? You shopped at Sears. See, a lot of people haven't even been there. But you go into a Sears store now, and you got one person that is working over 4 areas. You got a sign up here that says cashier, but there's never anybody underneath the sign. You got someone named Brad. He's in charge of tires, appliances, ladies' lingerie, and something. And someone comes in, running in there, and the guy walks in and says, hey, you gotta help me, Say, what is it? It's my wife's anniversary, my anniversary too, and I've got to get some stuff. What do you want? I want some lingerie. Describe your wife. So he describes his wife. And he says, okay, I think that's a 685/15. Because he's good on tires. And then someone else comes in and says, yeah, I got a 54 Studebaker out there, and I need to get some tires on it. And the guy looks at it and says, yeah, I think that's a 32 double D. And we wonder why Sears went down to 2. We're laughing, but you know why we're laughing? It's true. It's absolutely true. You treat your employees wrong, they will treat the customers wrong. Owners, operators. How many of us are small business people? We own businesses. Literally, aren't the employees there also for us? If we don't make a profit, what happens? You got it. We go down to 2. So you've got to have all these things in together. Notice it's saying CEO. Ooh, interesting, isn't it? So it's not the chief executive officer. Significant others? That's your spouses, that's your family. Because you're working 10, 12, 15 hours a day to put bread on the table so they can enjoy a nice life. Okay? Any questions at all, please? Okay? Let's talk about what value-driven companies do. Let's talk about this thing I'm pulling back. Okay. They don't measure themselves with size and volume like the 500 companies do, okay? Come on. You got 4 employees. You're not going to be in the 500 measurement. But they're defined by the quality of service they give to the customers and the quality of life they give to the employees. If you quit right now, you've paid for your lunch. Are we just talking about a company? No, we're talking about county government. We're talking about, literally, your role in the county government. And you selling Paulding County and building the industrial base for us. We're talking about you running the city of Hiram and working with the folks, that are around here. And making sure that as long as business is strong, folks don't have to pay property taxes. Right?
Yeah.
Now, and I think David's trying to get that in next year in the county. You better erase that from that tape, that's for sure.
Yeah, please do.
Now, the other thing is, all good, literally value-driven companies, they all have a focus. I do a bunch of work, and some of you know that, with a group that's trying to help people find jobs. And I've had a couple of people that come and say, yeah, I need help getting a job. Okay, what do you want to do? I don't know. I'm going to struggle helping that person. And I keep telling them, you got to focus. What do you want to do? This one person is a male nurse, okay? And he was getting his license to drive, big trucks, chauffeur's license, so that he could drive for things like the Red Cross bus and take it out there and then be a technician to help people get needled and draw their blood out. And I said, have you got your chauffeur's license? No. Then why would you have a dream of driving the bus, which you have to have a chauffeur's license, Class A, to drive? Oh. So 4 months later, he comes to me and says, Thursday, are you busy? Why? I'm graduating from Fortis. I think it's Fortis. Those of you in the medical field. Fortis College over here on 41. Awesome! Now you've got a chance to succeed. Same thing for companies, especially small business companies like us. You have to have a clear mission statement. Establish the operating values. And I'm going to give you some ideas on that. Oh, well, we have a set of values. Really? Oh, yeah. Where are they? Well, we wrote them about 15 years ago. And we had them put on parchment. And they're in the drawer. Ah. Can anybody in your company tell me what they are? Oh, they should. Yeah. Air Products, which used to be out of Macon, Georgia, and up in just outside Philadelphia. They spent thousands and thousands of dollars coming up with a motto for their company. 2 paragraphs long, right out of New York. Awesome. And they said, we have, our motto for the company. Oh, well, great. Everybody know it? Oh, yeah. I even gave people cards with it on it. So you can put it in your pocket. And then someone asks, what does that company stand for? You know? And then they'd have to read for about 3 minutes. So we started asking employees, do you have a company motto? Yes. What is it? I have no idea. They even had this tapestry in the lobby with it woven into it. I mean, it's beautiful. No one knew it. So I told the CEO, I said, it's useless. So we had a contest, $50. All the employees were asked to submit a new motto for the company. $50, you're going to win. You want to hear one? And it's something every one of you in this room could take back and use. It's not copyrighted. Be the first choice of customers, employees, and communities in which we serve. What else do you have to be? What else do you have to be? Kid got $50 for saying that. Now you can ask anybody their product. They can tell you exactly what their logo is and their motto stands for. Okay? Communicating the values throughout the company. Don't put them in a file drawer. If you believe in ethics, if you believe in honesty, if you believe in fast service, you gotta tell people. And if somebody who's working on the front line does something to make sure that works, you gotta pat them on the back and say thank you. You cannot go to them and say, you did not ask permission to do that. You outstepped your authority. Question, did it make the customer relation better? Yes. Forget the deal about authority. We got to empower our employees to make us be a value-driven company. 3 steps to success. Number 1, achieve. Number 2, connect. Number 3, integrate. Don't worry, it's fast, but you're going to see what it means. Achieving. Achievement is natural. Right? Did you see the article on TV in the last 2 days about the young man in a local school that hugged his teacher? Now there's a question whether or not he kissed her on the neck. If then, that's in bad taste, but she's been a hugger. And he had the chance as a senior. He ran his team to the state championship team. He could lose everything because he did that. Achieving on the football field. I don't care if it's East Paulding, I don't care if it's Cobb County, Osborne, whatever. Well, no, we went through, a century? We didn't have a win, what was it, 7 years we went? Oh my God.
We did have our good seasons.
We finally did win one, but that was the intramural team. It's when we played each other. But we did do that one. But you know, you look at what's going on. We have been built and designed to compete. You have elections? You just want to run or you want to win? You have elections. You want to run or win? Oh my goodness. So we're built in achievers. Yes? Don't you hope that my little buddy from Carrollton wins the next election? Could change your future. Right? Exactly. Mark Butler, dear friend. You know, he runs in these races to win. My boss, Sam Owens, he runs these races to win. You know, there's no fun in having opposition. The best election is one that no one qualifies against you. You don't have to hit all your friends up. Listen, we're about $8,000 short. But the most you can give is $2,500, okay? All right? Come on. We are competitive. A child comes home from school, brings a report card in, and it's got 4 A's and a B. You know what the typical parent says? Seriously? Why a B? No, I'm serious. Because we think that child should get straight A's. You know what I know? When I came to school, D was satisfactory. You know? Hey, if I got a D, that means I didn't have to repeat that class. And I didn't want to go back and see Mrs. Bingham again. Only 2 of us would know what that means. Okay? So achievement is natural. We were able to set goals and then strive to win those goals. How many of us would watch football teams that went down the field, would stop, went back down the field, went down the field and stopped? Well, we have Atlanta Falcons. That's not a good example. But, you know, we like to see people score. We like to see people hit home runs. We need to set goals and then accomplish those goals. We want to be something. How many times have you heard, I want to leave this world better than where I found it? Do something for someone else and you will. You know, same thing in business. Quit trying to get the next dollar. Those of you in sales, and we're all in sales in one way or another, it's real simple. Nobody likes to be sold. Everybody likes to buy. But you got to put something in front of me that I see in my brain, I want that. They'll buy it. Whether it's a house, whether it's a Hardy automobile, it doesn't matter what it is. You've got to put that in front of them. Being by doing. You've heard about walk your talk. You know, it's no good to talk about it. You got to demonstrate it. If you're going to talk about ethics and being honest, you got to do that in everyday life. You got to live that every single day that you're there. Next sale. You know, I have salespeople. Well, I was a salesman of the year last year. Next question is, what have you done this year? Because that's all that matters. You know, the Braves went for how many years winning the division? You know, we only won the big one time, but every year. I mean, if we didn't win it, something was wrong. Especially with the pitching staff we had. Yeah, we couldn't lose. At least at the division level. So that's what you're measuring. Okay? It's a magic wand. Connecting. Connecting is about relationships. I was sharing with Pat, we have a brand new book we just came out with this last year. And it's called Trust Building. And it's talking about the biggest thing in associations like this is us building a relationship with each other. You know? Knowing that, and I'm in the funeral business on that side of my life. It's knowing that hopefully I would be thought of in such a way that if you had someone that was getting close to passing, you might consider dealing with us. You know, in here you're talking about maybe Clark or one of the other guys, you know. I mean, that's what it's about. But it's relationships that get you the next business. Not the lowest price. That's bull. People will pay once a relationship is in fact designed. Okay? Invest in your own and others' lives. That goes without saying. If I worry more about what you and what I can do for you down at the Citizens Bank, we'll be fine. If I worry only about what you can do for me, you know, wasn't it Kennedy in 1962? Didn't he say, ask not what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country? What he was simply saying was, we need volunteerism in America. We need people willing to go out and help other people. That's how you build a strong country, a strong state, and a strong company. Share your time and talent. That's what I like to do. I love doing this. My dad said success, when you do something you love to do, and you get paid. Of course, I ain't getting paid today, but I remember that. Okay? You know, but the thing is, I love doing this. I've been doing it 40 years. 4 million miles on Delta. You gotta love doing this crazy stuff to put those many miles on an airplane. Seriously. First day I get up and say, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm through. Being by being with. In other words, making sure you find who you are. Integrating, bringing the achievement and connecting together. Defining and redefining your purpose and values. You need to do that every so often. You know? Anybody remember way back in the turn of the century, a guy named Henry Ford? Okay? Why was Ford successful? Why was Ford successful? What did he build? An assembly line, but a car. And he was building a car for everybody. Okay? Not a Packard that only a few people could afford. Why in 1948 did a little German car hit the shores of America? They become instantly successful, called Volkswagen. And I'm sure you all know the definition of Volkswagen, what it means in German. People's car. Engine in the back. Go out there and crank it up, and 2 minutes later, the engine would throw heat through the front of the car. I love that ad they ran. How does the snowplow operator get to the snowplow? And he drives up in a little Volkswagen. Okay, now what have they done? They put the engine in the front. You know, I kept putting the luggage up there, and finally I couldn't shut the hood. It was ridiculous. They didn't tell me they put the engine up there. They finally redefined the purpose. Put them into daily plans. You know, we have these little sheets that says what we're going to do. How many of your sheets say, check on whether or not we're living our values. And I'm not asking you for a show of hands, because I don't think I get many. But we need to. Because if you keep asking people about the values, guess what? They start believing that you really want to live with those values, and if they keep believing that, they will start performing that way. Value-driven leadership. It's a company that truly manages its values. There's only one boss, the company values. Unless you're holding this thing. This is the boss. Okay? Be ethical. These are some values I'm going to throw out for you. Again, you don't have to write them down. They're coming to you in the notes. Being responsive, being profitable. Oh yeah! Who's the only people in the world that cannot be profitable and still exist? Government, you got it. Paulding County right on top of it. I'm going to tell you what. I'm kidding. Okay? But you know, what does the government do? They sign a document, approve it yesterday with the Senate, and say, you know, this will keep us going for 2 more years. And I can't even remember how many zeros are added to the back end of it, but we're going to cut costs. Awesome. Being profitable, you got to be profitable. And then being friendly. Come on. You know, you go into some stores and it's like they don't want to serve you. And I'm going to tell you a little quick story about that, honestly. Okay, about being friendly. Because that, to me, is the key of being successful, especially in retail. Okay. Now, I was in New York City. Ready? 1981. Never forget it. May 19th. You know this is true. 1981. I got through doing a keynote speech. I was getting ready to fly home by 2 o'clock. Delta Airlines out of the airport. And I figured, what the heck? I'm in New York City. So I went shopping. I happened to wear a very unusual shirt. This shirt, ready? Is 16.5 inches in the neck. The arms are 28. Does anybody wear 16.5? You wear 16? How long are your arms? 36? 36? How long are your sleeves? 32? Okay. 28? Don't get it. Most of them are 36. My wife used to buy 16.5, 36-inch sleeves. She would cut off from the elbow up here to the shoulder. Okay? But she's very frugal. You know that, talking to her. Wouldn't throw those 2 pieces away. She would sew them together, and I wear them as underwear. Just 2 pieces. Anyway, I was in New York and went in this store. Went in and sounded like this. I went, hello! Nothing. Hello! All of a sudden, a voice came out of nowhere. Yeah? What do you want? Anybody from New York? Then you know what I'm telling you the truth. Okay? And I said, I think I want a shirt. What's up? Little boy, he goes, well, do you or don't you? Like, if I'm not sure, he ain't coming out. And I went, forget it. I went to the next store. Similar thing happened. Went to a third store. Ceilings must have been 15, 18 feet high. And I said, hello? And all of a sudden, a little head popped out at the top. It was either someone putting stuff away on a ladder, or it was Beetlejuice. Because the head was really small up there. And I said, hi, I got a problem. This is no joke. He's holding on with the ladder and he goes, hey, I got enough of my own. I left, flew home to Atlanta, went to Mapleton, Georgia, went to a store called Charles J. Ruff's Store for Men. If you're from Mapleton, you know it's a true story. Charles J. Ruff. I went ready to get in the door, reached the door, pulled it open, and this guy greeted me and said, hi, my name's Lance Hitchcock. What's yours? I went, John Dell's. He went, D-E-L-V-E-S? Yes. How can I help you? I got a problem. Fantastic! What? If you don't have a problem, I don't have a job. I'm like, what an idea. And I told him, I said, I have a 16.5-inch neck. He said, that's not a problem. 28-inch arms, that's a problem. Broke it down. He said, now before I try to solve this with you, anything else I should know? I said, yeah. I run. And I wear this watch, had these buttons on it, and it frays the cuff. He wrote that down. Anything else? I said, yeah. I don't shave once every 4 or 5 days. Seriously. Here, no hair growth. Here, probably 2 hours ago, and you can hear it. It would wear out the collars. He said, if I could solve all these problems, would you buy more than one shirt today? I said, sure. We go to the back of the room. He takes out these boxes, lays out a dozen shirts. Now, anybody, University of Georgia? Any UG people? Okay, a dozen shirts is 10 plus 2 more. Okay? You know, you hate to leave them out of the story. You know? There we go. Yeah, 10 bucks. There you go. So he takes one, pulls the plastic off, takes the pins out to try it on. I go into the room, I come out, I said, it fits. Anyway, fine. He says, and what were those other problems? I said, the cuffs fray. He said, watch. He takes a piece of wooden pine, slash pine that we use around here, rubs it up and down the cuff, nothing. I said, that's impossible. He said, no, synthetic ram woven through the cuffs will never ever wear out. Ever. If it ever does, you get a new shirt. What? Get a brand new shirt. Oh, awesome. I said, what about the buttons? He takes another one of the shirts in the plastic, puts it down, and goes smash with a tape dispenser. Nothing happened. I said, that's impossible. He said, no. Mother of pearl, coated with an epoxy, sewn on with silk, will never pull it. Help yourself. I mean, come on. If it ever comes off, I get a brand new shirt. Absolutely.
If you need a new shirt, that's why.
Pretty amazing. Well, I know you just opened that. That's no big deal. All right? But I'm going, that's impossible. He said, guaranteed for life. Wow. He laid out a dozen shirts. How many do you think I bought? 1 dozen. That's what he was showing me. He did say, he started reaching for my collar to do the wood analysis. I'll take the word for that one. But literally, guaranteed, guaranteed, guaranteed. Now, look at the difference between him and the New York experience. Friendly, knew what his job was. He'd done his research, knew that I buy clothes from Charles J. Ruff's store for men. Okay, my suits used to come out of Bremen. They were called Cricketers. Anybody remember them? And it was 40 short, and one sleeve had to be cut up just a little bit. Other than that, it's like wearing it from a tailor-made place. He knew all his homework. He got his values down. Ethical, conducting business fairly with integrity towards employees, customers, and the community. Isn't that what Air Products came up with? Yes. Responsive, identifying the customer's expectations, meeting and exceeding them. Did this guy, Lancia Truck, exceed the expectations? Yes. Profitable. He sold a dozen shirts. Was he making the store profitable? Yeah. So you see, this stuff works. Friendly, greeted me at the door. Not like most retail places today. They sit back there and you have to find them. Took out a pad and wrote my name down. Don't tell me that doesn't impress you in the retail business. I've just given anybody in retail the secret to basically doubling your sales. Because nobody else does that. Nobody else does that kind of stuff anymore. Okay? So, we'll talk about the core driving us to it. Okay? What are the core values of you and your company? Your values must keep the employees committed, customers delighted, operators satisfied, and your vendors and suppliers glad they do business with you. Pretty good? It's like being in real estate and having little brochures and flyers and making sure they're up to date, accurate, look nice, so you can give them to someone who's a potential customer, who you may not have time to spend 2 hours with a day because they got to go somewhere, but you give them something that they remember you by. It's not that hard. Okay? The process begins. Then I'm going to wrap up the program for you. Clarifying your mission, purpose, and values. You've got to do that. If you don't know what it is, how can your employees know what it is? Then you put it on billboards, you put it on signs. You get all printing, A-Printing, that company that does all the work with the groups and everything. Have them do little, whatever you want, fans, whatever. So people know this is who we are and what we do. Then you got to communicate it to everybody. Can't keep it in the front office. It's got to be outside. It's got to be on the side of your car. It's got to be like Sears used to be. Through these doors work the world's greatest customers. And then have 4 people in the department waiting on them. Don't you love Walmart? You know, they have a philosophy that says once more than 4 people get in a line, they'll open up another line. Right? You know that's the rule. It's hanging from the ceiling. You ever been in a line with 28 people in it? And you're going, hey, can we get one more person to help? We don't have any cashiers on right now. Yes or no? And I'm not talking about your store. I'm talking about every Walmart around. I did a bunch of work for Walmart. And I'm going to tell you what. The old man is spinning in his grave seeing what's going on now. Absolutely. See, they forgot that he built that on close relationships, not in the city, but in the suburbs. Build a relationship with people who walked in, drove up, had a dog in the back of their pickup truck. That's what Walmart has forgotten. Okay? Aligning your daily practice with your mission and values. Making sure that everything you do every day is in line with that. But then you're actually living it. Okay. Then, the last question I'll leave you with is, are the values that you have part of your DNA? Push the B for me, if you will, sir. Isn't that magic? Those of you who do PowerPoint, if you push B, it goes black for you. Now, my daddy gave me 3 sayings. Okay? Success, when you do something you love to do and you get paid. 2, he said, it's often easier to seek forgiveness than to get permission. I do not believe in slowing down the process asking someone, can I? Now, do I get in trouble? Yes. I don't do anything illegal, immoral, unethical, unsafe, or against regulation. But I still get in trouble. Because most people can't handle the fact that you did it without getting permission. Asking, oh, is it okay if I do this? Because you know what? They're going to assign it to a committee. It'll be 3 weeks before they get back with you and say, well, okay. You know, now the person went to another funeral home. You know, they ain't going to help you. You know what I mean? And then finally, my dad said, if you always tell the truth, you never have to remember what you said. I firmly believe the last thing my daddy taught me is the best thing you can do in business. Do you agree with that, Fred?
I knew your dad, yes.
Right? Do you agree with that? Yeah. So I just think, as a closing statement, I have to share with you. You've got to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. In order to do that, I have to tell you the rest of the story about these shirts. You see, check out the cuff again, because you were really concerned about the cuff. And the collar's good too. This is really one of the shirts I got in 1981. They cost, in those days, you ready? $44.95. You used to buy an Arrow shirt in 1981 for $4.95. Collars and cuffs have lasted forever. It's just the rest of the product that hasn't held up. So you got to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I thank you for allowing me to come speak to you today. God bless each of you. Merry Christmas. We have a question.
How did you get into the United States Army, not being a citizen?
They didn't care. Trust me.
That was my
If you were sitting on the soil in America, you could serve. That is no joke.
I never did that.
Okay. Oh, there was never a question about that, honestly.